Hello, and welcome to the very first live stream. Let me get a few things ready to go, and we will be starting our lab shortly. All right, so here is the first lab we're gonna do. We're gonna hop into CML real quick. You'll be able to see my screen. Check, make sure everything's looking okay. Looks like it is. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do, since we ended up redoing the network when I bought the house, we're gonna end up building a CML lab in the virtual environment and connecting it to my home router. So we're gonna build a router here, and then we're gonna have an external connection, and we're gonna click that external connection, go in the config, and we are actually gonna bridge that connection. Okay. And we're gonna boot that up. And we're just gonna connect them. Open up this console. And that's gonna boot up for a second. So while that boots up, um Let me know how I'm sounding. Let me know how everything is looking. This is the first live stream I've been doing. Let me know how the lighting works. I kind of try to go with a darker tone in the background. So hopefully it won't take too long for this to boot up. And here it is. So let's get back to the lab. Okay. So what we're going to do is my home network is running OSPF inside my home. So we're going to pair this to that router via OSPF, see if we can hit Google and build a couple maybe access switches, quick access switches, just to mess around CML and get something started, get some traction going. As obviously as we're going through this, I'm going to go in detail as far as what I'm doing. So let's go ahead and hit the enable prompt, global configuration mode, and host name is going to be CML2 Lab. Okay. Then we're going to go into this interface, which is gig00, I believe. Yep. All right. So interface GI 00, IP address DHCP, and no shut. I should be getting a IP address since it's connected to my user VLAN, and that should at least assign a dynamic address for essentially the gateway for this lab. Okay, so I have that there. And then IP OSPF 1 area 0 right on this interface. Okay, let's scroll up real quick. All right, so I am getting that. Oh, that one is participating OSPF. There we go. Suppress hellos for 0 neighbors. Okay, so we should be able to show IP. Oops. And show IP OSPF neighbors. I hate when I forget to turn the login synchronous on. Hmm. Actually, I know what the problem is. So let me go over here. I believe what the problem is I have OSPF disabled on my interface. So let's do terminal. Actually, not terminal. Sorry, putty. Okay, and now basically show IP OSPF interface, and yeah, so I only have it on my WAN. So show IP interface brief, exclude unassigned. Right, so we are going to be doing on VLAN 150. router. On do show run in router. Okay, so yeah, so I have passive interface turned on by default. So router OSPF1, no passive VLAN 150. And I'm gonna move that over. So IP OSPF neighbors. Let me flap the link. Okay, so I'm doing a show IP OSPF interface on the other one just to make sure. 250. Run in router. That's because it's on OSPF U. Okay, that's why. Router OSPF 2 and no passive VLAN 150. So it makes sense to use the correct OSPF process. All right, let's go over. Let's see if we have a neighbor relationship. Oh, check the interface. Let me flap that link one more time. Oh, if I shut it down first. Hmm. Okay. So let's do a little bit of troubleshooting here. Right, so let's do a debug, and we're just going to be IP OSPF, and we're going to just do packet. We're going to wait about 10 seconds, maybe 15, see if we see packet being sent out or received on this link. All right, so that's sending it out. So we're not receiving anything in. What it seems like. Okay. All right, which makes sense. Let's get back over here. Let's try that. Interface, yeah, oops, there's VLAN 150, the OSPF2 area 0. I gotta put that one in. There we go. There's an in. There's an in. That's what I was missing. We're gonna write it. Go. And we're gonna do undebug all. We're gonna do a show IP OSPF neighbor. Okay. Coming. Okay. See if we get a still an X start. Give it a little bit more time. Mm. Still an X start for whatever reason. And obviously it's the BDR. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do a debug IP OSPF. I don't want to do packet, but I might have to. Adjacency. Clear. Oh, okay, so it's now it's in the init brother. Okay. I think it might just be going slow, but we'll see. We'll see. Wow. That really is going slow. We're going to debug the OSPF packet as well. See if anything's going on. Sending it out. Sending it in. Out. Okay. All right. Let that go just a little bit more. The OSPF. So IP OSPF neighbor. Exchange. All right. It's going through it. Taking a while. That's what I get for running a virtual lab. It's causing all kinds of havoc with the communication being slow. But right now, it's in the exchange, so it's exchanging all the information. Okay, I'm gonna stop debugging the OSPF packet. And as you can see right here, sending and receiving. Okay. Do a show IP OSPF neighbor. Here we're at. Adjacency still at exchange. As you can see right here, it's received from primary router information. Okay. Yeah, so literally this is just it exchanging all the routes. Neighbor change of it, DR BDR election. Okay. Init. Why am I back to init? Hmm. Check to see what everything is. Alright, so I'm not really using much hardware. Let's see if there is anything that changed. Alright. Go IP OSPF neighbor. It's back to xstart. So I think I actually have a communication error with this lab being virtual. I might have to restart where the host resides. But it is back to exchange. Let's see if it works. Go over here. Go IP OSPF neighbor. Yeah. Although one thing nice about seeing how slow it's going is we actually have the ability to see all the packets come in during the exchange date. But it should not be taking this slow. Let me hop over to my other screen. I'm gonna reboot my my CML. Oh, I'm going to reboot my CML VM real quick. Before we do that, we're going to write this config. Okay, I'm going to go back over here. I have one more lab that I've been working on. I'm going to write those quick. And I don't think this one has actually started. I don't know yet. Nope. All right. We're going to go back to Lab Manager. And we're going to okay, so we're now shutting down that lab environment. Refresh my browser, make sure it shut it down. Did, so I'm going to hit power on, let that come up, and we're going to ping it. Back over. All right, it's back on the network. Let's give it a few minutes to boot. While we do that, I'm going to take a look at our live status. I see 0 viewers. Yeah. Again, first one, ad hoc. Not really expecting too much. Let's take a look at the overall live stream. I had 1 viewer for a little bit. That's awesome. Okay. Oh, it looks like it's back up. So we'll take a look at it. Okay, live stream lab. We got to boot all this back up. So we just go down here, scroll, hit the little play button, then click on it, and it'll boot everything. All right, console. Okay, so that iOS is going to boot up for a little bit while that happens. So I haven't seen any comments or chats about how the stream's looking. So hopefully I'll be able to go back and look at it. I want to see if the audio and video is matching up pretty well, and see if they have any drop packets for 4 frames for the video. So, all right, well, I'm going to be right back for a second while this boots up. All right, so this router is about to get done. Hopefully here in the next, oh, there it goes. So let me switch over to that. There we go. And let me do a show IP OSPF neighbor. Okay, it's in the exchange. Debug IP OSPF adjacency. Okay, so it's in the adjacency. And xstart, it's showing it's an xstart state. And this is showing it's an exchange state. Oops. The issue may not be with my virtual lab. It may actually be with my next hop. It. So, router OSPF1. Right. All right. So what I did is I oopsed and did. All right. What I did is earlier when I did OSPF1 on my other device, I turned it on. So I went and turned it off real quick. All right. I'm gonna be right back for a second. All right. So it looks like we may end up having to reboot, or maybe not reboot, but clear the OSPF process of my other device on my network, because I don't have any specific settings that should stop the OSPF from like all the timers and stuff match. I'm not getting a timer mismatch or value mismatch. Almost like it's just timing out because it's so slow. So, all right, well, we will continue this lab another day. So, yeah, let me hop back over. So, for a quick ad hoc lab, it wasn't too bad. I wanted to see how the overall video was working and wanted to do something. But that did show me that I do need to reboot my core switch. So I'll do that and see if I can correct the issues. And hopefully we'll be able to pick up on a more complicated lab that will work in the future. So leave your comments below or in the chat on how the chat or the overall audio and visual looks. Let me know how the light